مرحبا, أنا ليلى.
Hi, I'm Serena.
And together we are the founder of Ethafa. Today we are here to talk to you about this really exciting product called Ethafa. I wanted to make STEM education more fun and engaging. So I came up with this idea of creating these little robots that I call STEMians, that are funny aliens that want to learn about planet Earth. So the kids, throughout this activity, they have to help these STEMians get to know a bit more about how we do things here on Earth. But how does it work? So we have these funny aliens that, as you can see, are made with a PCB. There are some sensors on top of this board. So we have a microphone, a color sensor, some touch points, some LEDs for the eyes, and right in the middle there is basically the heart of this project, which is a breadboard. On the breadboard it's possible to easily create some very simple circuits. But how do you do that? You have to use the application. So these STEMians are actually connected via Bluetooth to a tablet application where all the adventures of the STEMians are told, and where all the kids can find the step-by-step instructions also to learn a bit more about electronics and, of course, a bit of programming as well. A key element of this project, of course, is the Arduino inside the STEMians. This technology was very easy to approach, also as a beginner, especially when I started the project. And the idea is that as the kids advance in the learning of programming, for example, they will be able to then unplug the STEMians from the use of the app and then create their own activities and adventures with their STEMians. Actually, when I started this project, I also got in contact with a lot of very fun types of technologies. Here in the Fab Lab we are in luck because there are a lot of very nice machines that we can use. For example, in the back, as you can see, there are some 3D printers, and actually I use these to create the case that is basically the body of the STEMians. And of course it was very fun also to approach the learning of electronics as well as programming.
Our goal is to bring new solutions and new approaches in technology education. It means that we want to reduce the barriers to learn about how technology works and not to use technology as only a tool in our everyday life. That's why our main passion is to create experiences that makes technology easier to learn. And this is the reason why we wanted to contribute to this field by creating Ethafa and the STEMians Kit.
We started to work on this product in 2017, right?
Yeah, you were one of our students in our master program in interaction design, learning how to use electronics.
So yeah, this is actually how everything started. I wanted to learn how to use electronics and programming, so I said, yeah, why not creating a product around it and learning by doing?
Yeah, learning by doing is actually one of our research topic in this laboratory, and that's why I proposed Laila to focus on a very specific problem, that is to reduce technology learning for younger kids, of course using play as a main approach, and also storytelling. So she started working on this concept, and she learned all these issues related to technology, and also how technology education can be a very interesting field to innovate and to create something that can have a very meaningful impact for future learners.
Yeah, from the very beginning, of course I approached this as a research. And I started looking what was around, so like products that were teaching electronics, what were the approaches that they were using, and I was mesmerized by the diversity that you could find around there. but also I was so surprised to see that every product was really Western target oriented. And as Alpha Egyptian, I really wanted to create something that was really custom made for a specific country, especially Egypt and Arabic countries in general. And also, of course, as a woman, I also wanted to create something that was really tackling the gender gap in the learning of technology education.
Yeah, in fact, we all know that technology in general as a field is very male-oriented, and also in the universities there is always, let's say, majority of the students are always boys. Usually, according to research, girls are more scared to learn technology subject because they feel the pressure of.
They feel the pressure of failing, basic throughout the process. While usually boys, I mean, I see this a lot in the user testing that we are doing. They just jump on things and they plug and play, and it's really like a different way of approaching the learning of these kind of topics. But this is a key challenge as you know, a designer, for example, that wants to create a product like this to really see what is the user need and work with that.
Yeah. Then there is also another topic that was very relevant when we were reflecting together on the challenges in technology education. That is how you create contents and meaningful experiences that do not start only on your ideas, but they start from, let's say, the constant feedback from with other people and experts in education, educators, the kids themselves, also families, and that's why we believed at the beginning that a product should have been designed through a co-design process and an open approach in the design process. In fact, this, let's say, perspective brought us to imagine something that fulfill very relevant scenarios. One of these is that a technology education solution should always have, let's say, the possibility to be expanded into response to the needs of students while they develop new skills and they learn new subjects. And this is quite important because designing tools that are just fitting for one specific use or one specific school grade is not actually effective and is not actually helping the students to really be empowered and not to become only the users of this solution. And the second point is related to the fact of co-creating content. We always co-create our content with the others, right?
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it. We did actually recently a workshop in Bahrain, of course online, and it was really, I mean, it's always very fun for us because we have been creating this framework for creating stories and approaching the learning of STEAM education subjects. But then, of course, every educator brings his own experience and context while creating a story. So for us, it's really fun and surprising to see in the end what is the outcome.
And using this approach of co-creation together with the educators, it's always relevant for bringing a kind of cultural inclusivity. It means that we never create contents that are fitting every culture, but basically we are creating educational content that are really rooted in the culture of the students. Because, I mean, in the past workshop we had educators creating stories that were, I don't know, introducing how a temperature sensor works by connecting it with the story of the pyramids in Egypt, for example. And so the educators could combine a kind of teaching of cultural heritage and history of Egypt together with the teaching of electronic components.
It's also a key element because in this way the kids will, approach the learning of these subjects throughout something, throughout stories that are very close to them. So it's not that they will talk about, Iceland and Egypt and the ice melting, but rather probably the heat of the sun and the conductivity of sand.
Yeah, and this focus on culture is something that we believe can be really powerful when it is actually combined with technology education. In fact, we always think about the fact that we don't want to train or we don't want to help this kind of innovation narrative that is focusing on training only technical skills in younger students, because we don't want to have humans that looks as robots. We rather want to have humans that knows how to collaborate, how to create solutions and how to technically create this solution by really know how this solution works, instead of actually use black boxes that are only kind of created by other entities or other organizations. That is more or less bringing in education, the EdTech domain, a bit of a principle generated within the Fab Lab culture and the maker movement.
Yeah, really empower kids in the use of technology, make them really aware and active.
Yeah, for this reason, for example, this is also related to some design choices that have been then embedded in the product. It is basically the idea of having a product that is open. I mean, kids can actually disassemble it, they can use simple electronic components, they can still make circuits with components that can be bought everywhere online. And this means that they are not playing with a kind of a simple toy or a toy that has magic in it, but rather they create the magic that makes this toy working and collaborating and creating a kind of the learning experience they wanted to have. It is actually a fundamental principle of our design perspective. Since we want to make something that can be expanded over the years, that is always can be replaced, can be also repaired, because the parts that are embedded in this product can also be fabricated in a fabrication laboratory, for example.
Yeah, it's a product that really grow with the creativity of the kids and their skills.
At the same time, there is also this concept of making it fitting the kind of school curriculum, since the educational activities are co-created with the educators. We know that all the activities can be based on actually on the curriculum on the school curriculum. And this means that can fit very specific needs of specific countries, for example, because there are different levels and different missions in every kind of school program, and this content can be adjusted to this kind of principle of the educational school curriculum.
But it is not only actually a product for schools, but also homeschooling, because the kit, the activities of the kids are also driven on an app application that the kids can use by themselves at home. And on the app, the content that the kids will find are these adventures where the protagonists are, of course, the STEMians that have to learn a bit more about planet Earth and how we do things around here, like growing plants and how is the environment, the temperature. And on the tablet application, there are the stories that, of course, features within some step-by-step instructions for making, for example, simple electronics circuits, but also a bit of programming using blocks.
Yeah, mostly we believe that this kind of educational technologies solution should also consider the kind of scenario that the pandemic has presented, where kids, they are of course at home and they probably have to interact with their teachers online, or they have to do their homeschool exercises by themselves without any support. And this idea of combining a physical kit with a digital assistant, that is the application, can be actually interesting for supporting this kind of homeschooling scenario.
I want to add that actually what we really wanted to create with this activity also is not having, you know, like kids sat in front of a tablet with just the robot on the side. But the activities that there are on the app are actually very explorative. So the kids have to interact with the context that they are living in. So looking for different kind of temperatures, looking for natural elements. So the idea is that actually they are moving around throughout the activity. It's not that they are, you know, like stuck in one place and using an application. So to wrap up, if you want to create a product like Ethafa that addresses the learning of the 21st century skills as well the STEAM subjects, here are some key pillars that I've learned throughout the years. First, don't forget to test your product. As soon as you have something ready, either if it's paper prototyping or very 3D model, use it to test it with the end users. And then, of course, there's co-design. You cannot develop a product by yourself. You have to engage with people, share your ideas, see how they react actually to your idea and how you want to develop it. So thanks a lot for watching. We're always very excited to share our idea with other people. And if you want to support the project, please follow us at Ethafa Kit on the main social media. And if you just want to get in contact with us, please don't hesitate to do that to, I don't know, get to know a bit more about Ethafa, or if you are developing a project of your own, please share your ideas. We are always happy to have an exchange of this kind of topic. The main goal is always to create something that has a meaningful impact in the learning of technology. So thanks a lot. You want to add something else?
Thank you very much for watching.